We'll do a fucking Wrangler commercial fucking shit thing over here.
Hey, I actually love racing my car, so I wouldn't mind doing that either.
Alright, did you just want to sit in the car or stand outside of it and
I
just
was gonna
use
take
that
a
as like a
screenshot.
backdrop? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was definitely about to take a screenshot. Oh my god, it amazes me how beautiful this game is, and I'm playing on a console. Alright, this screenshot coming out.
I've been playing this game over 200 hours, and every once in a while I'm like, God damn, this game's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It still
Yeah.
takes me back. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, we can get out. Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name's Zulu. I'm here today to talk to you guys about Wildlands and basically like the future of it and ways I think that the game could really improve if they were to have a year 3 and, you know, special operation 1, 2, whatever. So today I got with me a Git. His name is, I was about to call you Git Nasty. Your YouTube name is different from your Xbox gamer tag, right?
It is. So my if you're trying to look for my YouTube, it's Get Good Gaming. Get it the same way as you see it in here, but my gamer tag's Get Jacked.
Alright, yeah, so today me and him are going to be discussing some of the things we want, some of the things we think the game needs, and some of the things we would want to see in a year 3 for the game, which we don't know if it's coming, we don't have any source, but I know personally I'd rather have that than for the game to have a Wildlands 2 when there's still all these problems in the first one, because, yeah. Okay, so you want to just jump into it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah, alright. So, the first topic I wanted to bring up was PvP. Now, I don't want to get into all the things I think they could add and what I think, you know, how to balance classes and stuff like that. But what I wanted to talk about was actually fixing the problems with PvP. So, the problems I've encountered myself, though I've heard of a lot more, were lag switchers, hackers, and people hiding in cut off parts of the map, like, you know, that one mountain map where you can put yourself inside the mountain and just shoot people. What big problems have you noticed with PvP that you think need to get changed?
As far as performance issues, the only thing I've experienced is just maybe when you've had the game on for a while and then you come back into the game without closing out, it'll usually kick you out of your match, and that goes for PvE or PvP. As far as performance issues go, I haven't encountered any kind of lagging or anything like that. Not in the extent of Future Soldier anyway. But I do have some opinions of mine as to how to kind of make some changes to PvP that might or might not be practical for this game, but maybe the next game. But I'll kind of keep that. I don't want to ramble. But you seem like you were talking about glitches.
I'm talking about people who use exploits. People that use the lag. People call them lag switchers. I think I've seen it once or twice now. And then there's also someone actually before I came here on Twitter, someone posted a video of a hacker on Xbox. And then besides that, there are people who use exploits, like that guy from Future Soldier. His name was Milan. He used the exploit where he could hide inside scenery in the map and shoot you from it. I noticed someone doing that on 1 or 2 maps. So for me, I know a big change I'd like to see is them just fixing issues as far as like cheaters and people who use exploits in the game. I think if they made a mission out of that for year 3, I think a lot of people would enjoy the experience a lot more. And they just wouldn't feel so cheated, because this isn't the first time that me personally I've heard of people using exploits, but I've just now been able to come across it now myself. But I think there's a good portion of people that are getting tired of the exploiters and downright hackers on the game.
Yeah, and by that same token, I think that there's only so much you can do. I mean, when you're looking at another game that Ubisoft manages, like Siege, that makes a lot more money than this game does, obviously. But
Yeah.
even they have a substantial problem with that. So I think it, as large as your player base is going to be, is as large as your hacking and your exploitative players is going to be. That's kind of my opinion on it. But they could definitely do small things like maybe move a barrel there or close off that wall or stuff like that. But they also have to think, is it a large enough problem that we see it reported often enough to where we have to put man hours towards that? Maybe that's yes. But like I said, I haven't experienced it, but I don't play PvP as much as you do. So maybe some guys down in the comment section will be like, "Fuck yeah," you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a problem. But in my experience, I don't think Ubisoft is getting that many reports enough for it. I see it in Reddit, but not as often as other things.
Okay. So yeah, that's it for that topic. All I wanted to express was that if they really want the game to become more popular, they need to take a more serious approach to cheaters, and I would say implement like an anti-cheat or monitoring system. Because from what I've seen, you have to personally go out of your way and report each player yourself, and there aren't any type of passive system or active counter to the cheaters right now. But the next thing I want to
Maybe
talk
an
about,
in-game rep system might work for that.
yeah, I mean Siege has one. I understand Siege is much more popular, but in any case, if there's not a future, if they're not making another Ghost Recon game, if they could invest a bit more here and there towards the success of this game, I think it'd go a long way.
And as far as PvP goes, was that the only thing you had for PvP as far as improvements that you'd like to see?
No,
Or that was just kind of one talking point?
yeah, that was just one talking point. The next thing
Okay.
the next thing I wanted to talk about, so before I get to the next PvP thing, I just want to bring this up. There are two things I would actually like removed from the game. Now, because I'm talking about something get removed before I talk about what I want removed, is there anything you would like to see decreased from the game or removed entirely? Hey.
I can't think anything be removed. Maybe have a game mode where you can't pick someone up so that the matches move a little bit quicker. That's all I could really think of off the top of my head.
Oh, like Siege from Future Soldier. Okay. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the game modes, but the two things I wanted removed, this is actually something you brought up. Remember how you said you wanted the prestige points, like, gone, basically?
Right. Just do away with them. And
Yeah.
any kind of duplication system that you have, just get rid of it. It's gambling.
Yeah, honestly, I think the whole prestige crates and all that, it's nonsense. It's like, I feel like it's an addicting system of chance to get people on the game for more and more time spending real money, so they might have a chance to get items and things like that. But honestly, I just don't like the idea of a chance system or you having to spend in real money just to get a. I know some people would argue, you know, it's just a item for aesthetics, but I feel like one overall in-game currency where you can outright buy stuff is much better than any sort of system like that, in my own opinion. And yeah, people just want to get what they came for. They don't want to have to take chance or stuff like that. I hate systems like that in games. I'd rather just be able to play the game to unlock something that I paid $60 to, you know, be able to obtain everything in that game for. But and the second thing I wanted to say, I don't want this removed, but the amount of, I know you said something on the Reddit about Rebel Ops. For me, I wanted Rebel Ops to be cut in half, basically, because honestly, I think it's ridiculous the amount of stuff on the map. As far as like side missions, because each one is the same mission, but it's just in different locations. And if you look at the mini map and you have everything unlocked, there's like 60 of each mission type, even though it's the same thing. I would appreciate it if these were cut in half, because if I'm trying to increase the efficiency as well as the cooldown for each one, I don't want to have to do this same mission like 40 times, even though it's the exact same thing. What do you think about that? You think that's ridiculous, or?
I do have something to say on that. So, right now, if I pull up my map, just like if you pull up your map, because they're not going to see what I'm seeing, you're going to see all that green stuff. You've already completed all those things. The only reason it's reappeared is because we're playing cooperatively. I'm not sure if y'all were tracking that. So if we go and we do, I don't know, that helicopter mission to our southeast, we're not going to get any credit for that if we've already done it. And if you're on the tier system, you're not going to get any resources for that either. That's dumb as shit. So the only way for you to get resources, for you to farm in the end game, in the late game, is to do convoys. So the only practical weapons for you to use for convoys is the SR-25 jungle, because it's a one-hitter quitter, and then an assault rifle to go with it. Whereas if you had access to do these side missions again and do them over and get the same resource value rewards, now you're seeing shotguns become viable again. Now you're seeing people having different loadouts and stuff like that, and the late in-game content isn't so freaking boring, because I've leveled all 186 guns that I have access to level 30, and it made me want to kill myself. That shit was freaking awful. So what I would say is that's a good idea. If they did my idea too, which allows us to replay that and give us credit for it, but also you're able to go into your map settings and say turn off these missions, turn off those missions, turn off these missions, and kind of clean your map up. Does that make sense? Is that
no. It makes perfect sense for anyone that's played like any of the Assassin's Creeds, the later ones, like the more recent ones. I'd say like the last 3. I don't know. They've had that in the options because Ubisoft has this huge boner for like open world games, and they'll put.
We look like a ghetto A-team right now.
Yeah, Ubisoft will put 100 things on the map, and they'll be like, players will love this game. They can spend 200 hours in it. I don't understand their mindset behind that, because a lot of the different elements are simple snatch and grabs. You know, the side missions aren't really all that compelling. They're more there just to say there's this many missions in the game. Each one isn't the most riveting or interesting side mission. So honestly, I'd appreciate it if the amount of side missions, the ones that are all basically the same, except for it's a different looking building. If they could cut all those in half, or put filters in the mission types and stuff like that in the map, I'd appreciate that, because sometimes in the heat of battle, what just happened?
Well, in the heat of battle, you went outside the map area. That's what happened.
Is it okay? All right. Whatever. But yeah. Sometimes in the heat of battle, I'll look real fast on my map to see where something is, while we're being bombarded by missile strikes from helicopters and all these other entities. And there's alarms going off, and because there's so much map clutter, I'm not able to filter through this stuff. I won't be able to see a downed teammate who's around the corner because there's another marker sitting over top of his body, or he's in between a lot of different icons on the map and stuff. So honestly, I think what you said. I don't play tier mode, but I think what you said about you getting resources from everything and all that stuff to balance out tier mode would be a great addition to the game. All right, so let's go back to PvP for a second. Well, oh yeah, were you about to say something?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, are we on PvP or are we on PvE? Because if we don't talk PvE, you might want to put the T on. Get comfortable.
In fact, how about this? How about let's finish what I wanted to say for PvE, which is one more thing, and then we can go to PvP permanently. There's only one more thing I want to say. So the last thing I wanted to bring up was, I know some people, for them, they beat the main missions and the side missions, and then they went on to do Narco Road, Fallen Ghosts, and they played the DLC missions like the Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, Sam Fisher missions, and honestly, I think the game has a lot to offer, but if we could get like 1 or 2 more DLC missions like those in the year 3, if there was one, I think I'd appreciate it. I don't have any idea what the theme for those would be because they've already went through their past franchises. So I was going to ask you if you thought you knew what a good theme would be for a mission or 2.
Well, if you're gonna add a mission to Fallen Ghost, keep it as Vietnam orientated as you can. That's already kind of the setting that they were going for. That kind of cut off, bare bones, get back to the basics kind of thing that people didn't like from when they played Narco Roads, because that came out first. For Narco Roads, just stay in that wacky thing. Don't get out of it. So maybe for a year 3 additional mission for Fallen Ghost, we see Solid Snake again, except he's in more of a basic issue, doesn't have his fancy stuff with him kind of thing, and y'all are doing a legit infiltration mission, because that's kind of what we expected to get when they advertised him. Do you remember that? Like, we saw the trailer and you're like sneaking through and silently taking people out, and then you find out that you can't kill anyone when you're silently doing Watchmen. So
yeah.
So maybe add some elaborate, stealthy, get through the freaking murky waters and complete something with Sam Fisher. I think that would be. It would have second cool factor with it, if I'm going to quote a favorite gun tuber of mine. It would have that second cool for it. Now for Narco Roads, maybe go Miami Vice with it, like all the way Miami Vice, like really Vice, You
like that?
I think
Narco Road?
I liked it. I thought it was a good break from the seriousness of the game, and it had so much secondary stuff for you to do that was fun. But a lot of people saw it and they were just like, "How dare you disgrace Tom Clancy's name like that?" And I just don't take the game that seriously.
I'm sorry, man. I'm one of those people. I'm definitely one of those people. Oh, wait, get out right here.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, because
right.
If you understand it from another person's point of view, I didn't buy Ghost Recon Wildlands so I could pretend to be like I was in Need for Speed. I don't know. It wasn't for me, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Did you want to get back to PvP now?
There's one so I have my own idea, actually. I just thought of this. In one of my videos, I know I brought this up before, but something I would appreciate as far as a DLC mission being added now would be if the Bolivian government actually got involved. So you have a mission where you have to help the president of the country. This is like after you beat the main game, where he makes a statement about how they're taking over and they're going to reclaim the country, and you have to help him give out a press speech or something like that while he's being attacked by Santa Blanca. That's
Do you
one
remember
idea I had.
in one of the old? Do you remember in one of the old Grog missions, you had to extract like a president or a prime minister? So you had to assault his estate, repel the enemy force, get him to an extraction point, and then you had to find your own extraction point. I feel like that kind of thing is kind of in line with what you were talking about.
Fuck no, I'm not old enough to remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You old fuck.
All right, pull your
Yeah.
chute.
But fuck, what was I gonna say?
It's a safe house right down here.
So that's one idea I had for a mission I'd like to see, is where the Bolivian government doesn't just let you and this CIA officer tear the country in half without ever speaking to them about it. But the second idea for a mission would be if Karen Bowman actually got involved in an operation, because even though she's in charge here, you never see her outside in the field or being attacked, or you never really need to help her. You always see her inside this building. I think if she actually took an active role in a mission or something like that, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's it for PvP. Those are the only ideas I really had.
I'm taking the bike.
Okay.
Alright, so next, I want you to talk because my mouth is tired. Let's talk about PvP modes.
You're gonna pull an Andromeda on me right now? Your face is tired?
Oh man, it's sad because I was excited for that game before that happened.
We don't talk about Andromeda in this house. My wife knows that's my Vietnam.
There are some people that like it.
I guess.
So as far as the game
But,
modes, yeah, as far as the game modes for the game, what type of stuff would you like to see added or removed when it comes to PvP game modes?
I think we talked about this pretty extensively, but I don't think a lot of people play the Saboteur one. Is that the one that we were talking about last time?
It's not called Saboteur. I think Sabotage.
Sabotage, right. I got all fancy with it, sorry. Pretending I was French for a minute. But, yeah, I think not a lot of people play that, but maybe add a smaller map into the game, bring back respawns, and, make it votable. So even if you're like, fuck no, just don't vote on it, you got knocked the hell out.
Yeah, I know. I got fucked up.
We're taking the car.
Okay,
Matter
still
of national
bikes?
security.
Alright.
Yeah, bikes.
I'd exact revenge on this bystander for you. But, yeah, I think bringing back at least just a faster pace, respawnable firefight kind of thing, keeping it basic, because Ghost Recon's always had it. And suddenly with this game we didn't have it anymore. So maybe do that. Oh shit, are we taking these guys out?
That tango's down.
Ooh, I sent that round like right past your head. There he goes. But did you want me to get into
I got eyes on a weapons
like
case.
the bringing back weapon customization right now?
Made it. I'll call the rebels so they can haul it out later.
Right.
What the hell?
And then
Is that
for
a
us,
mission?
It's cerveza time.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, what I wanted to talk about first was the modes. Is that the only thing you had to say as far as the modes? Is like one classic firefight with respawns, or?
Yeah, I mean, I know we were throwing some random stuff out, but that was really the big one for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, what I wanted to say was, I think just one mode with revives would be enough for people to be satisfied, because you spend way too much time playing with randoms in the game for the entire PvP game to be about, one life, you get down, you have to wait for someone to pick you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you got that, and if there was one more mode I could add, it'd be probably one mode moved from Future Soldier directly to Wildlands. It has to be different enough from the base game PvP modes that are here right now. Because if you play PvP a lot like I do, all of the mode.
Like a boss.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
He's out here attacking cars like I'm a fucking rhino.
I wish I could have screenshotted that. Wow. God, these cars are ruthless. Most of the PvP modes are basically the same mission or mode. Kill the entire enemy team, you win. Yeah, it's always the goal. And
Were you thinking maybe like a capture the flag one?
I was thinking
like,
like deliver the bomb to the enemy base with revives. So a mode where you actually have more objective-based modes, not just kill the enemy team and you win. Because for anyone that plays Future Soldier, the entire reason it's different from any other PvP game is the objective is always what matters. It is the height of what you're playing PvP for is the objective. You're not really supposed to care about anything else, and they reward you for that in Future Soldier. So some really objective-based game modes, like not just link the hack this computer and you win, because I mean everyone only has one life. The game mode needs to be built entirely around capturing moving objective or something more interesting than that, because if you only have one life, then if you kill the enemy team you win basically. But if you had
or get like all 3 parts to the helicopter back to the helicopter on your enemy base's side, and then the ending is y'all leaving.
Yeah, or what else? You have to protect this dude for 5 minutes until the helicopter comes, and enemy team has revives, but you have more defenses. I don't know. I feel like they were not imaginative when they added the PvP modes. So me and Git and maybe a couple other people, we're gonna. I'm sorry. I want to. You have 2 different names. I'm sorry. I don't. You need like one name.
It's fun.
Yeah, you need like one name. Me and Get Jacked, we're gonna make another video on specific PvP modes and ideas we want added. But definitely modes that feel different are gonna be much appreciated by the community, because everything is either it's either elimination, or the only other one that's actually different is the one where you have to extract a hostage. Those are only 2 modes that feel like different game modes from one another. Honestly, most people only play elimination because the other modes aren't. I feel like they aren't really thought out as well. God, I feel like we're
people
talking about
can't
that
trust their
forever.
teammates, so they're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I think in PvP, just some opinions I had was bring back weapon customization. Losing it from Future Soldier to here seems like we're losing features, and that's never a good thing.
You mean like added so where you can pick whatever class you want, and then that class can pick whatever gun and use gunsmith, right?
That would be nice, but in Future Soldier, the scout had scout weapons. The the assault rifleman has assault weapons, so they don't have to be like the scout now can have like an assault rifle. I'm not saying that.
But
what I'm
marksman
saying
rifles,
is,
though, right? Or marksman
right,
weapons.
like here's your marksman weapons. You can upgrade it however you want, and it's not a balancing issue, because if I can do it, you can do it. Boom, balanced. And I think it was just a coding thing. They were like, let's get this out. Let's not include all these attachments that we put into the game so that we can hurry up and put PvP back into Ghost Recon, because these people are very, very mad that we did not include it in the base game. So I think that's kind of we've accepted it as that's what Ghost War is right now, and I don't think we should.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, Gunsmith was the best feature in Future Soldier, arguably. The fact that it was in story mode was awesome, but that was a definitive experience. So, realistically, you're only going to play that maybe 1 to 2 times, maybe 3 times max. But
A lady.
the fact that it was in the multiplayer is what made multiplayer so amazing in the first place. So if in Wildlands you had gun customization, you could add different attachments, sights, and everything to your gun. You not only make your own playstyle, but you're comfortable with that weapon to the extent where you're able to use it to its full of potential and your own level of potential. Because there's a lot of times where I feel in multiplayer I'm not able to play as good as I am because the class I like can only use these 3 guns. I don't like this gun. This gun is really weak in the game for whatever reason, and you know, it's just not my suited weapons. But another class has the guns I want. So I mean, honestly, choosing any weapon, that's not what I would recommend. What I'd recommend is just like Future Soldier, where this class has access to these 10 weapons, and these classes have access to these type of weapons. So that would really make Ghost War way more playable for me. I'd probably be on it like Future Soldier at that point. Besides that, I wanted to talk about the classes themselves and their abilities, because don't get me wrong, I can tell that they're pretty creative with the classes, the abilities, and everything like that. But honestly, if you look closely and you play Ghost War enough, I'm sure you'd be able to tell that some classes are pretty limited to their usefulness. So realistically, people would only favorite, I'd say, like 4 classes, even though there's like 20. I think the Ghost War classes need a lot of rework for each one to be viable.
Or maybe take some of the classes that are pretty similar to each other and start combining them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what? Combining them?
Do we really need a Predator? If you think about it, okay, he can rage out and heighten his strength. How come that's just not an ability the tank has?
I actually don't. I only played marksman, so yeah.
Well, on the marksman side of things, what does the ranger really have other than just a badass secondary? Why couldn't he have just been combined with one of the stalker class? Why couldn't the ranger just have stalker abilities?
Okay, I'm starting to see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not something I thought about.
It just seemed like they were like, well, that's a good idea, but that's something we can charge them for later and put it in as a feature later on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As they're coming out with classes, I'm like, wait a second. There's no fucking way y'all couldn't have done this from day one. You know? It seems like they had a lot of this stuff already in the works, and they said, you know what, hold off on that. Disable that on the, for example, disable the stalker ability on the ranger, and we'll make that a separate thing that we'll release later. You know, and it's kind of stuff like that I've noticed that maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's just kind of appearance's sake, but it feels that way, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think
now
about.
Now
what?
I sound like I'm sitting here with a tinfoil hat on.
No, actually, I appreciate that
Fucking
you said
conspiracy, man.
because I didn't even think about that. The reason why I wanted some of the classes reworked in the first place is because, take sharpshooter for example. The only thing about him is his weapon has no accuracy or recoil or a bullet drop.
It has no bullet drop, right?
Yeah, no bullet drop. That's what I meant to say. And he is. I love his main weapon. I love using the SRSA-1 with him. However, he provides absolutely nothing to the team. And if you were to use him, you have no intel capabilities or teamwork. You can't really give anything as far as teamwork. And honestly, I didn't really think about something like that, but with you saying that actually makes me think that some of the classes would be better off if they were combined together. And I wouldn't say nerfed, but if its strengths and weaknesses were mitigated and combined together to make one class, I feel a lot more comfortable with the classes. So each one at that point looks like it was made so you could play it in Ghost War, not just be Call of Duty badass dude or whatever, and not just try and go Rambo with whatever guns one class has.
And a lot of those events that they've had recently should be their own game mode. Like, those things were fun as hell. Like the Gunslinger event where you had to use a pistol and just the recruit. That was fun as hell. And then they had another event where you started with a pistol and you had to find your weapons out on the map. So everyone was kind of rushing to go get a weapon first. I mean, those should be their own game modes. Those were fun as hell. I just wanted to throw that in there. That's kind of off topic.
No, not really.
I don't want this video to already be really long. But
we're talking about PvP,
you know,
so anything you want to add, just make sure to go ahead and throw it in there. I did like those events, but I see why they didn't add those as their own game modes because, I mean, I don't know. Throwing something fun and different in the mix is awesome, but I don't think everything needs to be its own game mode. Not if it's like
because on the original GRAW pistols only was a game mode.
What? Wait, so how many game modes were in Advanced Warfare then?
I think there was 3. I know someone in the comment section is going to correct me. Also, GRAW was 8v8, and if you did pistols, it was 6v6. So it's 2019 right now. This game came out in 2017, and we're losing player count. I don't know. That seems backwards to me. And back in the day, 4 people could play on the same system and jump into a PvP match together or jump into a PvE match together. There's also 16-player PvE matches. So I don't know. Like, I'm going to get off into a tangent if I do that, but like, it goes back to what I said earlier. Like, stop taking features away. I understand that they've added a lot. Definitely, they've added a lot. But you know, if the game was released with a PvP, a well thought out PvP, you could play with 4 players on the same system. It was 8v8 on maps. I think we'd be looking at a very different community right now.
I think so too. If there was if from the start, if they were already planning on this, I think it would have came out a lot better. Honestly, I'm surprised that after all these Ghost Recons, they decided that this one would be the one to not have it. That they would just drop it like that.
I think they were very ambitious, and they got into this world building, and they got into, you know, the details, like your weapon freaking gets scratched over time, for God's sakes. And I think they just kind of were like, and we're done. And then they were like, hey guys, we totally forgot about this. I'm like, oh shit. Well, when are we supposed to release it? Like 6 months. And they're like, well, maybe the next one. You know what I'm saying? So I think they got accomplished what they needed to. So they had like a storyboard, and they're like, hey, we have to accomplish this, that, and the other. And I think that they did that. And I don't think that they anticipated the backlash that they got when the game came out to us very incomplete. If that makes sense. That's kind of how I see it.
Well, I want to say that it's been such a long time. I can't remember what the original problems were with Wildlands when it first came out.
There, target number 3.
I know for a fact that receiving a polished shooter game like this, it's, you know, so much work is went into, and that it had no PvP option, it would upset me too because I'm coming from Future Soldier, a broken game that has multiplayer connection issues. The community is divided because of DLC that doesn't come for the entire game, and you know I need a new shooter, and for me, Ghost Recon would definitely be what I would want to play. You got all these awesome guns. There's hundreds of guns in the game, and beautiful maps and vistas
190
and stuff.
currently.
Yeah, like I love playing PvP on this game. I think it needs some work and it needs to be revisited by the devs, but this is definitely a great game, or it has the possibility to be a great game for PvP for shooter fans. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, or the last thing, if you don't have anything else after that, I wanted to speak about a squad option because honestly, people, randoms just jumping in and just playing without talking, making friends, coordinating is a big thing in this game. Unlike its predecessor, Future Soldier, there's no
Oh, hell. We're supposed to scare him and set him loose. Not
there's
blast
no
him to
lobby
pieces.
where you're able to talk to everyone, enemy team, friendly. There's no squad option where you guys can group up and have a squad lobby and play squad matches, or even just see if you're all on and you can always be together and talking and stuff. So I feel like this game kind of took away a lot of the social options from squad, or from you making your own squad. I think it'd be amazing if they could add that. Honestly, if I could have one thing from this list, it'd probably just be that, because I think that the community, the devs have a big part in it, but the community of players is often what makes a game great. So that would definitely be something that you would go for.
I agree there.
I'm driving.
And if you've kind of been watching the video in the background, you're sipping coffee or you're driving on your way to work, I want you to really hone in on this. All right, so I'm going to talk about a squad system that came out in 2001, the original Xbox. It's Rainbow Six Black Arrow, if y'all remember this. That game, you had a squad system and you had a rank structure. So say Bodark Zulu is the director, he would say, hey, faggot, however he wants to address me, you're going to be freaking a lieutenant. Cool, how many lieutenants can you have? Only 3. Awesome, what can lieutenants do? Lieutenants can recruit other people and they can make squad matches. How do you make a squad match? So how squad matches worked back then is your team would say, hey, this Saturday at 10 a.m., my squad is going to play whoever wants to play us, and we're going to play 3 maps, and it's going to be these 3 maps. These are the rules for the map. Don't bring any G3A3s in here because it's a broken gun. And then if it was accepted, it would be thrown up onto your squad headquarters board, and on the board your team or your squad mates who are sergeants and recruits could subscribe to that match. So you as the director, you could go in there and be like, all right, how many squad matches we got set up? Oh, we got 6 matches this weekend. Okay, who's going to be in the match? And you could see everybody that was going to be on the match with you. And if we had even that with a leaderboard that came with it, bro, come on. And I will go a step further. If they were going to do something like that, let us wear the rank that we are in our squad, and let us have a patch creator to where we could wear that patch in-game. And not one that's already in the game. Let us make our own. Freaking Halo 2 had that shit, and that game's how old? Come on. So,
oh yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh my God.
That's kind of. I know I'm going old school on this, but
I know. I mean, game design.
It's one of those things.
Games have changed.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say games have changed. If you look back to when games had to be absolutely like well designed, well rounded, everything's thought out, planned, fixed, on day one. Because gaming wasn't as popular back then as it is now. Now games can be a hell of a lot less well put together, tested.
Well, it's games as a service now.
Yeah, Back then, as a game designer, you had to make a name for your game. Now, if it can get talked about that a new game is out, people will just buy it. It's become a pastime. It's become pop culture. It's no longer a refined art. There's definitely new people in the seats, people that are doing it more as a job than as a passion or a love.
We'll just call it Fallout, and people will buy it.
Yeah,
That worked out fine for them.
yeah, it's exactly how it is.
They're relying on their brand names.
Definitely, and I'm beginning to think that serialization of certain franchises is becoming a big problem, because it's no longer what games are coming out this year. Now it's when is the next GTA dropping? When is the next Call of Duty coming out? Has the next Halo been leaked yet? Or I'm not seeing anything new anymore. More so, they just keep making the same game or using the same name, and then they'll change a lot and change the game from what it was in the first place. But honestly, if you want to make a brand new game, a brand new franchise, do that. Don't keep selling people the same thing every year.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But we do want another Ghost Recon, so I don't want to like we don't need the same shit, but we do need another Ghost Recon though, for real.
I'm just saying,
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
looking
Like,
forward to Call
we
of
don't
Duty
need
24
another franchise game
or Battlefield
another
10.
Splinter Cell would be nice. So,
Splinter Cell,
like I hear
yes.
I hear you, but I hear you.
But you got to remember, when
But-
gaming started becoming popular, it was at the beginning of those series when they first made them, when they were ambitious about a brand new project, an idea they wanted to create. But now it's just, we found this magic potion and it's working, so we're gonna drink that bitch dry. You're gonna drain it. And
to be fair, the gaming community is a far more critical animal than it is now.
Yeah.
You had a video earlier, probably a year ago, that I liked, talking about entitled gaming. So I feel like that kind of comes into it as well. So you got to kind of step back every once in a while and be like, well, like, am I being fair here? No, but I don't know. How long is this video, man? Like, is that it for us, or?
that's the last thing I got. Are there any other things you want to see added, changed, or removed from year 3 that you think the game needs or would definitely improve it for players? That's what this whole video is about.
Well, if we're talking to year 3, there's stuff that we want, which is add bolt cutters. Those bolt cutters could be a wire cutter, could be a torch, could be a saw, just some way to get through a fence. And I'm not talking about those fences you can just drive through with a vehicle. There's fences in the game that are reinforced that can't be destroyed. It'd be nice to be able to just cut a little hole in there and walk out. We want to be able to remove our backpacks. And then I know a lot of people were talking about gun belts and stuff like that, but whatever. I think removing backpacks would be nice. I think the ability to have a alternate map, like what you were talking about earlier, but maybe make it a topographical map. If you don't know what that is, it's a military map that just shows terrain features and elevation lines, and then allow us to mark on it, so that, like, if Bodark, and the team wanted to take an
Were you
area,
gonna say
I could be like,
Bodark,
hey,
and Zulu?
yeah, like all of your personalities. I'm trying to name all your personalities. Like there's YouTube you and real you. That's right.
I'm the same.
The real him is Latino. He's actually full Hispanic. No.
Hey, don't tell
But,
Dark Dally.
Right. Don't tell Dark Alley. But come get you. But and we wanted to be able to make overlays and stuff like that. But I think when you're looking at the Reddit page, there's a whole lot of lists on there, but I think really everyone's saying features. I think the community's pretty happy with where we're at cosmetic-wise. I think the community's pretty happy at where we're at weapon-wise. Maybe moving some sights around and stuff like that, some little nitpicks and stuff, but by and large, the community wants features: being able to shoot from water, being able to shoot from your parachute, being able to jump from your vehicle into your parachute like you can on GTA. I know this isn't GTA, but I'd like to be able to do that. Just saying. So I think there is some room for that, and we might be not talking about a year 3. This might be something that comes later on, but yeah, that's all I got, man. That's it for me.
Wow, we have been doing this for 1 hour. 1 hour. Okay, everyone. So, what the fuck? All right, I just got a stupid text. In any case, I appreciate everyone that has come to the video. Okay, and if you're still supporting Ghost Recon Wildlands, I would say thank you, just because. Well, I love this game, and I want to see it reach new heights, personally. I think there's some people in the Ghost Recon community that think I'm trying to become some super big YouTuber and just use Ghost Recon. No, I wouldn't. You know, if anyone that's known me from the start of me doing YouTube would know that's never been the case. Honestly, just have a big appreciation for gaming on YouTube, and, you know, at least good gaming. The good gaming side of YouTube, and Wildlands, Wildlands in general. So yeah, thanks for supporting one of my favorite games, and I think that's all I have. Now, my question for you guys, the video question, is going to be, fuck, what's the video question? Oh yeah, if you guys could have anything added, changed, or removed that you think would improve the game for players going forward in Wildlands, what would it be? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and so I know that you're talking about the video question. Right behind it, hashtag it future. Or, yeah, it's future? Yeah, hashtag future. Oh my god, no, that's a terrible keyword, isn't it?
No,
right.
You're good.
No, I changed my mind. Hashtag it get. G3T. Okay?
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, hashtag it get. Just like that. Just like you see on the screen. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching this video today. It means a lot that you guys watch me and appreciate the content. Yeah, so answer the community question. Look at Get Jack, Get Good, whatever his name is. I'll link it down in the description, but check out his YouTube channel if you're interested in Wildlands or the Get Squad.
Treat him rough.
I said it's really nice to meet you. Yeah, did you hear me, Mona Lisa? I said it's really nice to meet you. In need of all my credit running. Can't have these problems, they just something. You ain't some puppet, you ain't funded. Doing cardio the way I'm rapping, running. I need my cool points in genuine leather. I'm so country in the city, I can't let her. Talking cabbage.